Hi, I'm Tovah Fenske, and thanks for joining. Today's yoga class is going to be a yin practice that is designed for digestion and detoxification. So let's get ready to twist. Welcome. So starting today's class seated, if you do have a small pillow or a cushion that you can tuck underneath your bum just to help lift you a little bit and get your hips tipping forward, that would be preferable. As we sit comfortably, we're going to start today's practice with a little bit of an energizing or digestive juice churning twist, and then we'll slow things right down. So we're going to put our hands just on our shoulders if that's comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable, hands on the head works as well. And we want to think about twisting to the right first. So just nice and slow, turning to your right and then turning all the way to the left. Just slowly twisting. Inhale and exhale. Thinking about inhaling as you start the twist and exhale as you finish the twist. And if it feels good for your body, let's speed this up just a little bit. Just finding some nice movement through our spine, really just kind of warming everything up a little bit. And it's that ringing action that really helps with digestion and getting everything moving in a detoxification way. So we're going to be doing a lot of twisting today. And that helps to really move our lymph through our lymphatic system, which is your body's toxic waste roundup. So it's also an excellent immune boosting class today. Relaxing your breathing, just sitting quietly for the next couple of breaths. And the reason that we want to focus our twist starting right and then moving to the left is because that's the direction that your digestive system moves. So as food moves through your body and moves through the intestines, it moves or travels from the left side of your body over to the right side. So we're going to do that moving twist one more time, putting our hands back in place, and this time we're going to go the opposite direction. So we're going to start the twist to the left and then finish to the right. So here we go. We're going to do this twist for about a minute, but you can always stop at any point, or feel free to carry on a little bit longer if this is feeling great for you. Not super traditional in the yin practice to start with a little bit of movement, but it works really well with today's focus of detoxification and digestion. Just coming back for a couple of more quiet breaths. Always aiming to inhale and exhale through your nose if possible, but it's always okay to mouth breathe if that's your comfort zone. Good, and we're going to take that stretch or that twist a little bit slower here. So sitting up nice and tall, right at the top of our sitting bones, extending through your spine, sitting your tallest possible self. And then we're going to turn towards the right. And I want you to think about turning with your body, turning with your shoulders, and then once you're as far around as you can get, then turning with your eyes and your neck. And your hand at the back is just reaching back for the floor behind you. And if it doesn't easily reach the floor, you could set it on a yoga block or another cushion that you might have. Breathing nice and deep here. We're not holding this too long, so this will just be kind of introductory, and then we'll get into the slow, deeper, longer held postures that you're accustomed to in a regular yin class. Wonderful. Untwist. Oh, feel how nice that feels when we untwist. That's really where the magic is in the twist, is when you untwist. Perfect. Let's sit up nice and tall, and let's find that walk around to the opposite side, starting right at the base of your spine, moving up through your mid-back, your shoulders, and then at the very end, finishing with your eyes. Remembering to breathe through the twist. And you shouldn't feel any pain when twisting. If you feel pain, you want to back off the stretch a little bit, making sure that you can still breathe well, you don't feel any poking or pressure in one specific spot. Good, let's slowly come back. And just take a couple of grounding breaths here. Maybe close your eyes or just bow your chin. All right, let's get down onto our mat, lying on our backs as we prepare to do some twists. If you do like a small cushion underneath your head, feel free to tuck one there. And it's always a nice idea to have a cushion close by in case you decide you need it as we progress through the twist, maybe to rest either an arm or your legs on. So I like to keep mine just somewhere behind my head so I can easily reach for it. So as you get comfortable here, starting with your knees bent, let's go ahead and cross your right knee over your left. Pick up your hips a little bit and shift them to the side. So you're really just picking up your bum and you're shifting it over just a scooch. And then let your knees roll in the opposite direction. And we're gonna stretch our arms out here in a diagonal kind of line. So letting your left arm reach down. Letting your right arm be somewhere up over your head, wherever's comfortable. And remember, we don't want to overstretch here. So the yin practice is meant to be very much a letting go practice. And so we need to let go of our ego and let go of that competitiveness where we're pushing our bodies so hard. Really, this practice is about easing back. If the stretch feels a little too intense, you can take your cushion and tuck it underneath your knees. Or you can also stretch your legs out more straight. So the straighter your legs are, the easier this stretch is. The more tucked up your knees are, the tighter the stretch is. Eyes just looking up to the ceiling, or maybe closing your eyes here. As you breathe deep and move towards a quieter mind. And often for people in yin, one of the hardest aspects of the class is being still and being quiet. So notice if you're fidgeting or you're unnecessarily moving about. And see if you can just rein that in a little bit. And it's a practice. We're not expecting perfection every time, or ever really. We're always just working getting ourselves into a better headspace. As this practice really teaches us to slow down, to enjoy slowing down. you find the slowness really challenging, that's just really your mind and your body letting you know that that's probably what you really need in your yoga practice. So for all of those AAA personalities out there, this is the practice that you need to practice more often. And it's probably the practice that you dislike because it's slow and it's quiet and you just feel like you want to get up and move everywhere. On your next exhale, start to bring yourself back towards the middle of your mat. Just really taking your time here. Being gentle with your body as you move into just a place that you can comfortably rest for a couple of breaths. Either tucking your legs in, maybe hugging them into a tight ball, or stretch them all the way out straight. Perfect. Let's cross the opposite leg over. Shift the hips to the side of your mat a little bit, so you're just moving them over about half of a bum width. And then let your knees roll to the opposite side. So that little bum shift is just helping to better align your spine. If you were looking above your head, looking for a straight line from your head, your neck and shoulders, down to your hips. And then we want to take that nice diagonal line as well. So reaching down towards the knee, with your left arm reaching somewhere up over your head. And that arm reach is just providing you a little bit of a gentle chest and shoulder opener. This arm position is also particularly good for your gallbladder. So one of our organs that aid with digestion. Remember, you can add or take away props at any point, or adjust your position in the stretch. So stretching your legs out maybe a little straighter, or tucking them up a little bit more. Really learning to listen to your body and kind of tune into what it's asking. Not so much just moving forward with where I think I should be and put my body in that place. Because oftentimes that puts us in a place where we're pushing too hard or too far. Because that's kind of our common strive in life and in work, to do more, to work harder, to go faster, to go harder. We want to pull back from that. And that might be one of the hardest things that you've done today, is to pull back a little bit. Taking just a few more deep breaths here. slowly start to move away from the posture. Just take your time as your body brings itself back to center, not making any big, fast, sudden movements. We want to give our body just a little bit of time to gently move away from those deep stretches, to let your energy channels realign, to let your body's chi, if you will, just kind of find its way back to its new normal resting place. Good. As we move on to our next twist of the day, we're going to tuck our knees into our chest. And maybe you want to just rock a couple of times side to side or make a couple of circles here, whatever's feeling good for you. And then stretch your arms out into a T. Perfect. And as we keep our knees tucked up nice and high, you're going to roll towards the right. If your knees don't easily touch the floor, here's where you're going to want to tuck either your arm underneath, works as a great prop here just to hold you up a little bit, or tuck one of your cushions, bolster, block underneath. You can take your top hand and just gently rest a little bit of downward pressure on the top knee. This can help the top thigh and buttocks relax a little bit more. So if your legs are separating, if we can gently push it down, it'll be more calm for the top leg. You might also like tucking your arm or cushion between your thighs if there's a fairly big separation there. You can look towards your knees, which is a little gentler in the twist. You can look towards the ceiling, which is pretty neutral. Or you can turn to look towards your outstretched arm, deepening the twist. So finding whatever amount of twist feels good for you. And remember, what feels good one day, it can change from day to day, from practice to practice. So don't feel that you always need to do each posture the exact same, or that you go to the same depth or level of the pose. It's really about listening and finding the right amount for that moment. So because today's practice is focusing on detoxification and digestion, this would be a great practice if you are experiencing any digestive issues, if maybe you've been traveling, so spending a lot of time seated on a bus, a train, a plane, eating some different foods, maybe not drinking enough water. Those are all things that can wreak some havoc on our digestive system. So this could be a great practice to do then. A great practice to do anytime after meals, just to help with digestion. And in terms of detoxification, that's always a good practice for our bodies. So getting rid of all the toxic gunk that's building up in our bodies, getting our immune system working better, just getting everything flowing and moving more freely will, in general, just make you feel better. So we can use this as a feel-good practice anytime, or in particular, if you know that you're kind of around some people who maybe have colds or flus, or you want to ward off that sickness that's going around the office, or you've got kids that are in daycare and bringing home all kinds of germs, keeping our immune system functioning top-notch is really key to keeping us nice and healthy. Perfect. We're going to roll back to the center. Just resting when you get here. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths. And then we're going to venture into that twist on the opposite side. So stretching the arms out, tucking the knees or keeping the knees tucked up nice and high as you roll in the opposite direction. And you might find that you need a prop on this side, or you need to do your props differently than on the previous side. So don't be afraid to change here. As we aim to keep our shoulder blades on the mat, and it's okay if they lift a little bit, but if they're peeling way off the floor, that's a sign that you're twisting a little bit too far. So don't over accentuate the twist just to get your knees down on the opposite side if it means that your shoulders are coming way up. Breathing nice and deeply, maybe closing your eyes here, Or if you prefer your eyes to be open, just try to find one spot that you can look. So our eyes can get really caught up or engaged in various things that we see. And then we see those things, and then that provokes a thought, and then our mind starts trailing off on whatever tangent it can find. So that's what we want to avoid. So eye closing can be very helpful for some people, but some people just prefer their eyes open. So if that's you, just try to find one spot that you can focus, something that's really plain and doesn't have a lot of distraction in it. So maybe looking at the ceiling, the floor, maybe a corner. And remembering to breathe deep. Even though in twists, your breath might be a little bit constricted because we're kind of crunching up our breathing muscles, you still want to breathe as deeply as you can. And breathing deep is a big part of the detoxification process. So even if you maybe don't have time to do a full yoga practice, just spend some time, a couple of minutes every day, working on deep breathing, and that can do wonders for your health and well-being. Perfect. On your next exhale, let's roll back to the center. Perfect. And let's come on up to seated. So as we move into our next posture, it's going to be a forward fold. And so anytime we're seated or moving forward, it can be nice if you have a small cushion to tuck underneath your buttocks. So I'm going to sit on my small cushion and stretch my legs out in front. So getting my hips just a little extra help to tip forward. Draw your toes back towards your shins, and then bow your chin as you let yourself just relax forward here. If you have a prop or a cushion, you can use it to rest your head on here. It might make it a little bit more comfortable, and you might need to stack up a couple of cushions or maybe a cushion and a block, or you can turn the cushion on end and just keep sliding it down to find the right amount of forward movement for you. And start off a little easier here. So don't go as deep as you feel you can, and then just slowly over time, get a little bit deeper in the posture. Relax your neck and shoulders. And in yoga, forward folds are a really powerful position in that they really get the energy in your body, the fluid in your body, moving in the proper directions. So seated forward folds or standing forward folds are really great for vitality. They're great for detoxification, for helping with immune boosting and helping you just overall feel well. So don't be afraid to throw a few more forward folds into your practice. Taking just our last couple breaths here. If you felt you could inch down, maybe just a little bit more, turning your prop or your cushion down a little bit farther. Or if you're perfect right where you are, staying there for the last couple of breaths as we just feel that really nice stretch all the way up across our back of our legs, of course through our back, right to the back of our head and neck. Perfect, and let's slowly sit back up to the top. It might feel good for you just to kind of sit back, open up the chest and shoulders a little bit after that big forward fold. Good, and then just give your legs a little walkabout, a little shake here, a little hip jiggle. Wonderful. So we're gonna finish today's practice, our Savasana. I'm gonna put you into waterfall pose, just following along with today's focus, which is detoxification and digestion. So waterfall pose or legs up the wall, if you wanna move yourself to the wall, is excellent for detoxification and immune boosting. And this is the posture I recommend if you have time to do it every day, do this one every single day. So on my mat, I'm going to stick a cushion underneath my hips just to lift them a little bit more, let my knees feel a little bit soft, and then I just put my arms wherever they're comfortable, out to the side, on your stomach, behind your head if you like. You could also move yourself against the wall and do the same position with or without a cushion. The cushion is always nice, lifts your hips just a little bit more, gives you a little bit more added inversion, but either or is fine. And of course, if this isn't a position that's comfortable for you or you don't care to do it, then please feel free to move into something else. But like I said, the time that we can spend here is really great for detoxification. So I like to try to work this into my day some way that I can, and I really like to use this as a Savasana position, a little non-traditional, but great for the body. So I'm gonna leave you in that position for the next couple of minutes. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and as we finish today's practice, I'm going to play the singing bowls for you. So the singing bowls give a vibrational sound. They're crystal bowls, and it's a really healing sound. So I'll encourage you just to close your eyes and hopefully enjoy. draw yourself away from Savasana. Starting to breathe a little bit deeper as you make some small movements with your fingers and with your toes. When you're feeling ready, bend your knees, sliding out or off from any cushions that you're using. Just let yourself roll comfortably to one side, resting there for a couple of breaths. Not feeling rushed, letting your body move slow, take your time. As you make your way back to a comfortable seated place on your mat. I truly hope that you enjoyed the singing bowl experience in Savasana today. If you're in the studio, you would actually feel the vibrations through the floor, and I know you won't feel that through the video, so I'm sending you good vibrations. Thanks again for joining today's class and practicing with me. Namaste.